Today was a very red day. As you can see, all of your coins all across the board, every single sector is down, and some of these coins are down a lot. You can see coins right here like Floki, like Say, like Near, almost down 20-30%. What is happening to the market, right? What is happening to Bitcoin? Let's take a deep dive into some technical analysis of Bitcoin first and foremost. Looking at this Bitcoin chart, you can see that we are testing this 13-week EMA. So this green line right here, and I do believe we are going to fall lower than that. So we will most likely fall below this 13-week exponential moving average and potentially even fall lower to this 21-week exponential moving average at this yellow line right here. That is the worst case scenario in my opinion. And if we do fall lower than this, then of course we have support, very strong support right here at the 53,000. I don't think that's going to happen. But in the short term, look for this green line and potentially this yellow line as areas of support for Bitcoin. How low can Bitcoin fall during this mini crash that we're having right now is the real question. As you can see right now, this is actually the 55 daily EMA, and you can see we are crossing below that, which means we are most likely going to fall to a further area of support. And the area of support that I've outlined is probably going to be around this region right here. So we've had pretty strong support in the past whenever we've hit this region, but as you can see right here, we do fall below it at certain times, and if we do fall below it, then another area of support for Bitcoin would be in this region as well. And if we fall below that, then there is this region. This is a line, it's the 200 EMA line, right? This line has historically held very well for Bitcoin. So if we do get further downward action, then this green line, this 200 EMA, which sits right now at approximately 58,000, could potentially be hit as well. But most likely the first area of kind of resistance is going to be this $64,000 Bitcoin area. Let's also take a look at Bitcoin dominance, and as I predicted, guys, Bitcoin dominance is actually rising right now. So the past couple of videos, I told you guys that we had this big red candle, and I said if we went lower, if we saw more and more red candles, then altcoin season is probably going to start very soon. That is kind of your cue for the start of altcoin season when you see those big red candles in Bitcoin dominance. But as you can see, guys, we have had 3 consecutive green candles, and most likely we're going to keep going up, right? Bitcoin dominance is not over yet. We are still churning away. We're most likely going to stay steady, probably in this maybe 55% range, maybe even a little bit higher. This green zone that I've outlined right here is just my prediction, but most likely we'll probably fall and top off somewhere in this range, and then we'll see that those giant red candles like we saw in 2021. Once we see this, right, once we see these giant consecutive red candles, that is a clear sign that altcoin season has fully kicked in. But as you can see, guys, right now, that is not the case at all. We still have some more time to go. This means that Bitcoin is still not at its all-time high. It still has more room to grow. Most likely, right, once Bitcoin hits its all-time high, maybe at 100,000, 150,000, who knows, that's when you're going to see a fall in Bitcoin dominance and a steady decline in the price of Bitcoin, and that's when you see all of your altcoins shoot up. But right now, that is not the case at all. And why is Bitcoin sliding, right? Why is Bitcoin continuously not able to break this its previous 2021 all-time high? It does break it, but it never gets that high above it, right? We always top off right here in this green zone around that 71K mark. We never seem to break out of it, and this is just another one of those cases as we're seeing right now. And the thing is, right now there's a lot of factors, right? A lot of macroeconomic factors. If you look at Bitcoin ETF inflows and outflows, you can see the past couple of days have not really been great. We've seen 64 million outflow, 200 million outflow. We saw an inflow day on the 12th of June. That was the day of the Fed meeting, and we actually had a positive CPI report. So inflation is actually staying steady right now. Inflation is not increasing, but at the same time, the Fed also had a meeting on interest rates, and basically they determined that most likely they're probably going to only have 1 rate cut this year, maybe 2. But either way, it wasn't great news. It wasn't terrible news, but it wasn't great. It was just, stuff we already kind of knew. So that's why the market reacted the way it did. So we had positive inflation news and negative interest rate news, which is why we got this massive $226 million outflow on the 13th. And today, kind of the same thing. negative 191 million outflow. And you can see this first column is actually BlackRock. So BlackRock, surprisingly, has been buying this entire time. BlackRock has not been selling. The second row is Fidelity. So Fidelity has been one of the largest sellers, but you can see today, once again, outflows. This will most likely continue for the next couple of days. You can see right here, CPI has stayed the same. In May, the consumer price index for all urban consumers was unchanged. And you can see the Fed meeting, right? Fed holds interest rates steady. Still no change in interest rates. Most likely one rate cut. So kind of bearish news. So what does this mean for your altcoins? Well, not only is Bitcoin going down, but Bitcoin dominance is going up, which tells me that a lot of people are trying to de-escalate their risk, and they're trying to maybe only hold some of their larger positions in Bitcoin, right? And that's why you see all of these negative price movements in your altcoins, because people are still scared. The bull run, the full euphoric bull run has not kicked in yet. A lot of people just want their money in Bitcoin, and this is kind of what you can see, right? A lot of people are, once again, they're transitioning their money into Bitcoin during these periods of instability. This has happened so many times in the past couple of months. It's honestly, I look forward to these days. It's just another buying opportunity. This is a great opportunity to potentially get into some plays that maybe were a little bit too expensive. And it's also a great opportunity to kind of readjust your portfolio, right? See what's doing well. And more importantly, this is an opportunity to reflect and adjust and see what your goal is for the bull run, right? This is different for everyone. Everyone has a different goal in mind for, what they want to potentially make. Everyone has different goals in crypto. Whether you want a 3x, a 5x, a 10x, a 100x, that's completely up to you, right? No one's going to tell you exactly how much money you can make or you want to make. That's completely up to you. But you have to ask yourself this, and you have to assess your portfolio in that way, right? If you want a 10x return from today's price, you have to assess your portfolio, see whether or not you're okay with taking a lot of risk, and you have to act accordingly. And vice versa. If you only want, safety, security, maybe you're only going to be looking at Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana, something that's going to give you some relatively safer returns. But that's different for everyone, right? So during these times of massive discount, you have to keep that in mind. Although I do expect more days like this in the near future, right? I don't think this is the end of the bleeding. I believe we still have probably a little bit more time left to get these coins at a discount. But either way, guys, stay composed, right? Be smart about your money. Only put in what you can afford to lose. Like always, that's with every single video I say. This is not financial advice, but only put in what you can lose, right? Crypto is the most volatile asset in the world. With times like these, right, this never really happens in the stock market. You don't see your top 100 stocks do on average a negative 20% day. That just doesn't really happen, right? But in crypto, this is very, very common, right? I've seen so much worse in the 2022 bear market, right? I saw Bitcoin do a minus 40% day, right? That happens to every single coin. I've seen coins do minus 80% in one day. These dips are nothing compared to what I've seen. So it's very easy to stay composed when you've been in a bear market, when you've been in a bull market. But either way, guys, just stay composed, be smart. And yeah, that's basically going to be the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one.